Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more. When it comes to pay-per-view numbers, especially for Jake Paul, there's always different talks about what the numbers actually are. And in my opinion, I feel like no one really knows. Because one person is saying this, another person is saying that. It's like, are we even supposed to know what the pay-per-view numbers are? Like, I just don't understand when it comes to reporting the pay-per-view numbers. See, Keemstar has said in a space what the pay-per-view numbers are, and he also posted it on Happy Punch on Twitter saying that the pay-per-view numbers were 450k. In my opinion, I was quite shocked at that because I thought it would be higher. Maybe that's a bad take, but I genuinely thought it would be higher. But I was like, oh, 450k. I still think that's quite good because of how much pirating goes on. But MVP updates, which Jake Paul did repost on his story. I didn't get to screenshot it, but he did repost on his story saying facts. Paul said facts to MVP updates because they stated that the pay-per-view numbers did 2 times or twice the amount of Tommy Fury. I'll put on the screen what MVP update said, but they said it did twice Tommy Fury and Jake Paul. In my opinion, that is so sus because I feel like Jake Paul versus Tommy was bigger. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like it was bigger. So for Nate versus Jake to do more, like that is a big shocker to me. But Jake said that's true. And also, I guess he's not allowed to say the actual pay-per-view numbers. Actually, he's not allowed to say the actual. So I think that's why he said it in that way. But I don't know if that's true. Like twice the amount, twice of Tommy versus Jake. I don't know. Keemstar in a space was questioned about the Jake Paul's pay-per-view numbers and his sources, and this is what he had to say.
MVP, it was MVP updates. They said that it did
Dude,
twice.
that is not true. It's 450.
Yeah, I saw that today.
What Jake has said is that it did double the US.
Who told you it
buys
did
of Tommy Fury.
450? It did not do 450. It did 1.7 million. I can
No,
guarantee
it
you
did
that.
it did 450. My sources are like literally no.
So you're saying you believe a source that told you, but you don't believe Jake Paul?
Yeah, I would believe my source over Jake Paul for sure. What do you mean?
Yeah. All right.
I mean, Jake never even said 1.7 mil. He said it did double the US buys.
No,
Fury.
of
That's what
course
he said.
Jake would not say that.
Yeah. Because it didn't do
Jake
1.7.
didn't even say double, did he? Did he say that?
So what he said on Instagram is that it did double the US pay-per-view buys of Tommy Fury. That's what he said.
That's a weird way of saying 450,000 pay-per-view buys, but okay.
Yeah, it was all marketing really. Like he reposted the MVP updates thing and then said facts in capital letters, but then like stipulated at the bottom that it was like 2 times the US.
Look,
number.
I can't, no, I don't run the fucking company. I'm not looking at the numbers myself, all right? But like my contact is like as close as you can get to the guy looking at the fucking numbers, and that is the number. I really trust my contact. That is the correct number.
1.7 million is where did anyone get that from?
I don't know,
Because
but that is just not true. There's no way.
No, that's
If
ridiculous.
it did
Yeah.
1.7 million, dude,
Fox.
the internet would be different. Like during that fight, like you would know. Like everyone would. I mean, everyone we know was talking about it, but it would be bigger.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like
I agree.
No fight has done that many pay-per-view buys since like McGregor fought Khabib, I think.
Dude, you can feel when a fight is big. Like, dude, Tank Garcia, like you can feel it. It's different, right? Like,
yeah.
Fucking when I was younger, like Tyson, when he fought Lennox Lewis, when he bit off Holyfield's ear, like that was like it was different. Like, you know what I mean? Like everybody.
Yeah.
When Mayweather fought Pacquiao.
Let's box.
Keemstar's being pretty defiant on the fact that this is the pay-per-view numbers that he was told. Obviously, he's not the direct source. He has his source that tells him what it is, and he's saying he trusts that source. Do I trust that source? I don't know. I don't know who his source is. But at the end of the day, none of this really matters because we're not getting paid from it. So it is what it is. Paul brothers, guys. The Paul brothers really intrigue me. I can't lie. Like, even Eddie Hearn in the interview was questioned on whether he thinks that a fight between them would happen.
I know you had a busy week, but do you see their back and forth on Logan's show, and do you think they're setting up a fight between them?
Between
Jake and Logan. Did you see the clip? It was crazy. It was very...
I've seen the clip, but nothing would surprise me, Ariel.
Yeah.
Nothing. What do you think about brothers fighting?
It's not great, but like if you watch the clip, you're like, this seems inevitable. Logan's saying, I'm sick of people picking you because you're the easier fight. Then they talked about the Floyd fight, and Jake said that he actually thought he lost. Logan felt very offended that he was saying this for the first time. They were talking about the drinks on the broadcast, the zone, people getting, like, their managers getting involved. Like it was a lot of behind the scenes drama. I couldn't believe they were saying all this stuff.
I don't know. I mean, look, it would be massive. And these guys are mad on numbers. They're almost narcissistical when it comes to the desire for numbers. So that's the kind of thing that they would do and kind of shake hands before. And, you know, if they can shake hands after and make themselves 10 or 15, 20 million in the process each, I guess these guys are the type of people to do it.
It's not only because of what happened with the situation last week or a couple days ago with them bickering on Impulsive, but also Jake Paul in another interview has said this.
One of the things that pains me the most is that we like don't do any business stuff together. I've tried to get him involved in MVP. I wanted to give him equity in everything that I'm doing, and he just like doesn't want to. I don't know. I think he wants to create his own story and own lane, but it bothers me. I yearn for that so much for us to like be on the same team, and it just has always gotten shut down.
KSI said that he wouldn't fight Jake if he beat Tommy Fury. He has to. It has to be done. This match needs to happen.
I want to take credit for that.
Really?
I think I may have put the seed in KSI's head.
Oh, no.
I said it in a... I can't take credit for it. But I did say the same thing, that if it was KSI's original thought, I said, damn, if I were KSI and I beat Tommy, a part of me would be like, yo.
You did plant
Why would I do that? But then Jake would have to fight Tommy again in a rematch. And if he beats him convincingly, now there's some meat on that KSI Jake Paul feud.
Ah, yes.
And it's like, there's so much tension between these brothers. Me personally, I don't think that they're gonna fight. Like, I just don't know how I feel about brothers fighting. I just don't think that's right, personally. Has that even ever happened before? I don't think so. Like, imagine the parents, how they're gonna feel about both of their sons fighting. Like, I don't want that to happen, I can't lie. I think Jake would win though, but I just don't think it should happen. I just personally don't want brothers to fight. Like, just be brothers, don't get in the ring, maybe do a scrap outside of the ring like normal brothers do, but like, just, I don't know, I don't like brothers fighting. That's just my personal opinion. Also in this interview, Eddie Hearn was asked about Jake Paul and his performance during the Nate Diaz fight.
Diaz, you weren't very high on his chances?
No, I mean, Ariel, it was awful. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, the event was unbelievable. You've done a great job, like, brilliant. But when you're talking about, I mean, look, you know mixed martial arts like the back of your hand. I know boxing like the back of my hand. I'm watching that and thinking, this is so bad. And the reason that Nate didn't get stopped is because Jake was, he didn't have the ability, like, he just doesn't know how to break a fighter down, cut off the ring, beat him up and stop him. But I give my props to Nate, super tough. But you're talking about low level in terms of standard. These guys wouldn't win a state title. Like, that's the level they're fighting at. But listen, props to Nate. He definitely didn't have ability, but what he had was plenty of grit. But Jake just didn't, he hasn't got the ability or the experience to break someone down and stop them. And I was convinced he would.
Is he getting better though?
Not really.
Is he regressing?
It's so difficult to say because of the level of opposition. Like, I thought he did okay against Tommy Fury, but then when he's fighting Nate, like, Nate's, I know he's super tough and you love him, but he's so limited as a boxer. I can't even tell you, like, and yeah, I don't know. I still respect Jake. Like, he's putting the time.
In my opinion, watching Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz, I'm not gonna lie, I actually thought he improved. And I feel like that's not a popular take to have. But when I was watching, I was like, oh, he actually looks better. He looks more like a boxer, in my opinion. Like, I genuinely thought that he looked better when I was watching the fight. But when I go on Twitter, everyone's saying, regressed. He hasn't improved. This is terrible. This is his worst fight. He looked better in the Woodley fight. I'm like, really? I genuinely thought that he looked good. BJ Flores, which is Jake Paul's ex-coach, was asked about Jake Paul's performance during the Nate Diaz fight. BJ was asked quite a few questions about Jake Paul's regression and if he's better on the team with BJ on it or whether he got worse because BJ's not there. And he speaks a lot about the opinions of Salt Pappy and all that. So I know you guys like to listen to the spaces because some people miss them when they happen. So I'm just going to include it at the end of this video and you guys can give your opinion down below in the comments.
Yo, the great Benjamin Flores is here.
Hey, yo, BJ. Sorry about this guy delusional Sean. His mic is weird, but hey, yo, my guy BJ, how you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm good, man. I just checked in real quick, listening to you guys. We got a big press conference August 22nd, so getting excited about that and getting people hyped up about October 14th.
100%.
Yeah, BJ, I have a question, my guy. So for the card in October, what are your predictions for the main and the double main event? I guess you could say. What are your predictions?
I mean, to be honest with you, for the Dylan Dennis and the Logan fight, Logan's gonna absolutely annihilate Dennis, and it's gonna be hilarious. Definitely looking forward to that. Like, nobody deserves it more than Dylan, and it'll be interesting to see if Dylan actually shows up. For sure, get a backup opponent for Logan. But if Dylan does show up, I think it'll be his last fight in the boxing ring. And I do. And as far as KSI and Tommy, like I said before, I mean, this is a massive step up for KSI. It's a very big step up. I got Tommy winning the fight. I mean, there's nothing, there's no real, I'm not trying to like make any bad blood with anybody or anything, but I think Tommy's a superior boxer and he's been in with a lot better opposition. And KSI just hasn't been in any tests, like not even close to Tommy. And he hasn't been with guys in rounds 2, 3, 4, and 5. In those middle rounds with anybody who's really going to test him, and Tommy's going to test him. And I told that to Mams too, and they want to take the shot, and you got to give full respect to KSI for that. So that'll be a hell of a fight. And we're working on finding someone for Salt Poppy. He's got a little bit of a reputation, and it's tough to match him. So we're working on that.
100%. That was very honest. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah,
all
man.
right, Wayne, go ahead.
100%. Hey, yo, my guy BJ.
Mm-hmm.
So, you say you don't talk about sparring, but like, can we get the when Jake Paul knocked down Hasim footage?
Literally.
The Jake Paul and the Hasim footage?
Yeah, like, because Hasim I already seen the full video, but like, I just want to see more. Is there more, my guy?
No, that was it. There was 4 rounds. It was in Las Vegas. Jake was super green. He was just starting. He barely, he's just started. And he caught Hasim off guard, because Hasim didn't expect that much from him. And, I don't think Hasim was going all out in the beginning, but in rounds 3 and 4, Jake started really getting to him, really hitting him, and Hasim was surprised. And I think he just kind of started camp, and it was one of those situations where Jake really surprised him, and it just kind of got kind of weird after that because they got into an argument, and they got into a heated conversation after that, and there was like a fight in the ring, and it was fine. I mean, shit like that happens sometimes in the gym, but. I think Hasim was surprised. He knew he didn't expect Jake to 195 is Logan's backup.
Yeah. And he's not making it.
Yeah, I mean that's really the question of the week or the month or whatever. Like I don't even know where. I saw that and I was like, oh man, because the situation when he was going to fight Jake and he was going to make 200 and fight week he was 215. So I don't know.
Yeah,
so,
it's a tough task. It's a tough.
I remember he brought us out. It was me and Jack Fig from the Sun. We did like a media weigh-in because he was trying to prove, I could have made the 200 pounds. Shows up 206.
Yeah, but that's too like once he already knew he wasn't fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Showtime and Espinosa pulled the plug on the fight when he said he wouldn't come below 210.
I know, but I remember
they're like, bro,
he did like a whole thing where he was like, I could show you, I could have made the weight, and then he showed up over the weight anyway.
He showed up 6.5 pounds overweight, and Jake was willing to fight him at 205. Jake even agreed to fight him at 205. Jake was literally like 193, 194, like, and look, he fights as low as 183. He shouldn't have even been 195. That was ridiculous.
Jake's lucky he didn't fight Hasim, bro. Hasim would have won.
I mean, my guy, you don't have a crystal ball, and I don't know who you are, but like, you got to watch a little more boxing.
Go ahead, Most Wanted.
He served
win.
you,
Come
nigga.
on.
That's crazy.
Yo, Most.
Nah, Seaman win.
Yo, Most. Go ahead, talk, but just in one prediction.
Masim's not
Don't
bad. It's
promote
just it's tough
yourself.
to
Don't
lose that
promote
much
your
weight and then
opponent.
go
Don't
do a
promote
Wayne,
competitive
yourself.
stop
fight. It's
doing
very
this, bro.
difficult.
Wayne, stop.
Go ahead, boss.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna ask Wade who he thinks that, because obviously he wouldn't know because he's not in the meeting, so he can actually speak on it. But who you think Soap Happy is fighting on the prime card?
I don't think they got a guy yet.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Wade.
Keem said they got a guy.
No, they don't. Keem's wrong.
Oh, so Keem lied? Oh.
I don't know if he lied, but maybe he just doesn't know the whole situation. But we don't have anyone locked in for him yet. We're working on a couple guys, and anybody who's in close in the situation knows that's the case. So anybody who's
Soft
not,
Poppy's
we
coach
can
said he
something
knows
different.
his opponent.
Is Taylor Holder a name in the bag?
Salt
Excuse me?
Poppy's coach said it. Salt Poppy's coach said that he knows the opponent.
He doesn't.
Did he say that on a space?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, earlier he said that.
I'm not going to get into all the discussion and dispute on that, but nobody knows what it is yet because we haven't got that done yet. So we're working on it, and we're working with a couple names, but there's nobody like in concrete right now that he's going to fight, but we're trying to get him somebody really quickly because he deserves it.
Fair enough.
Until the contract is signed, they don't have anybody, right? Basically.
Exactly. Yeah, of course. Until they show up in the ring, there's no, you don't never know if you got to fight. How many contracts have been signed, and then the people get hurt. You never know till they get in the ring. Obviously, the contract signed is step one and the biggest component of it. But until they get in the ring, we really don't have anything. So, we got to sit tight. We're working on a couple big names though, and we're excited.
For sure, but real quick, no, I was just gonna say, like, Wade, if you were the guy who gets to choose the guy for Salt Pappy, who's some names that you would be wanting to see?
I got the pin.
Taylor Holder.
I get to Taylor Holder. I don't know.
I
think he's on tour or something. I think he's doing music.
And he's actually a really good singer. He's got a hell of a voice. He's very talented.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know until I heard some of his country music. I was like, God damn, the guy can actually sing.
Wait, he's got a good voice, man. He's bulking up a little bit now. He's looking like a real country boy out in Nashville. I love Taylor, man. He's a great kid. He used to live next to us in Calabasas, and he's a real good kid. And I love seeing him thrive and doing really well right now with the music and the boxing. So I love him, man. So
he's also
I don't know, man. For
from
Poppy,
what I've seen.
I mean, listen, I told you guys the Slim fight would have been amazing, but
woulda. Yeah, you're right. But we also, Wade, there's a certain amount of money that's available, and we tried to work with them and negotiate with them a little bit, and it got out a little more than we wanted. And maybe in hindsight, it wouldn't have been exactly like that. But we make a move and we move on, and we wish Slim the best, whatever he's doing, and hopefully we can work with him in the future.
I don't know who else is there, but you don't want to put, because Poppy's such a big name, you don't want to feed him to the wolves again. So it's a fine line. I don't know, man. I genuinely have no idea.
Is there an influencer that's really like could be matched with Poppy that's really like feeding him to the wolves? I mean, he's on he's at a decent level, man. He's a surprisingly good fighter.
When I said that, I was thinking MMA fighters again. I didn't want to put him in that position.
No. But with a celebrity though, like who's really going to overmatch Salt Poppy too much besides Jake? Honestly,
nobody.
Salt Poppy might do good with KSI. I mean, it might be a good fight.
Yeah.
I guess the main reason it's a tough position is because you have Kenny and Gibb.
That's what I was going to say.
That's exactly it, my man. You hit that on the head. What's your name?
Most Wanted.
Nice. Yeah, that's exactly it. So we got to wait and sit tight on that, and then we also got we got Jarvis on the undercard. That's going to be another fight that they got coming up on that card that we're kind of waiting to see. He could be another guy that fights some of the names we're talking about. And then what's his face? Gibb and King Kenny. I mean, they're going to be great opponents for a lot of these guys. So we're looking forward to seeing what happens with that matchup and placing some of those guys in. Like I said, I'm a big Gibb fan. I'm impressed with Gibb. Gibb's been boxing for 4 years now. He's been in camp. He's completely transformed his body. He's fighting like an experienced fighter. He's picking shots. He's doing things in there that show he's learning his craft and he's taking it seriously. So Gibb's a name that I like, and I feel like he's going to have too much for King Kenny, but I think King Kenny's got a lot of ability too. I thought he lost against FaZe in that fight, but since then he's been really, really good, and he's gotten a lot better.
You think Gibb's going to beat him?
Yeah, I do. I had Gibb picked to beat Austin McBroom. I had Gibb picked to beat Taylor Holder, and I've Gibb picked to beat King Kenny.
BJ's been on Team Gibb since the Jake fight for sure. He's been seeing it.
Yeah, man.
BJ's a real one.
Gibbs a handful. I'll tell you right. Unless you got some real power, Gibbs going to be in front of your face all night. And I don't think Kenny's got the power to really, get Gibb out of there. Gibbs going to give Kenny a lot of problems with that pressure. Watch.
I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. I did a video with Leon where he was like training me in his gym.
Yeah.
It hasn't come out yet, but I asked him a bunch of questions while I'm training to kind of get his idea about the influencer scene and stuff. And I asked him if I was on a treadmill when I asked him this, and I went, if Gibb and KSI are on a treadmill and they're running next to each other, who gets off first? And he said KSI. And I was interested by that. He goes, Gibb does not care. He was like, Gibb will be throwing boogers around, saliva everywhere, sweating on everything. He just does not care. He's not getting off that treadmill, dude. He's made of something different.
That's a great mentality to have in the boxing ring. Unfortunately, obviously getting the boxing ring and landing more punches is all that matters in the boxing ring. But Gibbs has got that mentality. He comes in, he's ready to go. Like, you're going to have to separate him from his senses to be able to, win the fight. You're not just going to be able to hit him with some easy shots and he's going to go away. He's not going anywhere. And with Kenny's not knocking Gibb out. I hate to tell you guys that, but he's not going to knock him out. And Gibbs going to be there, and that pressure is going to give Kenny a lot of problems. Watch.
I have two quick questions for
Yes, ma'am.
For BJ. So with Kingpin kind of like a question mark, just kind of out there hanging. We don't really know what's going on with it. We don't really know what the next step is. Is there any potential that we may see those matchups on a Misfits card instead of it being a Kingpin card?
I can't speak on behalf of what Kingpin's going to do in the future and what they're going to, their moves moving forward. But look, I mean, I think, they're creating some exciting matchups, and in the winners of these fights of Gibb and King Kenny, and then, Jarvis coming out of his fight with Winderson. I think I got Jarvis pretty easy in that one too. I mean, I think those two guys are tough in their game, and I feel like they're going to make some good matchups with some of our guys. So, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch and see how it all works out. But I can't really comment on what Kingpin's going to do in the future.
Okay. And then kind of a follow-up to that, or not, I guess it's a little different. Earlier in a space, Coach Saul was in there and he was talking about, just matchups in the scene and things like that. Obviously, there's been some controversy with Slim and Poppy, but he made a pretty wild statement about how some of our favorite boxers are fixing fights. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
Wait, who said this? Coach Saul?
Yeah.
I'm not sure who that is. I'm sorry.
Oh, Poppy's coach.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know who that is, but yeah, I would say completely not, and I disagree with that. And I would, I'm not even going to get into gossip or anything like that. But I mean, look, I haven't seen anything like that. And big boxers fixing fights. I mean, I have no idea what this guy's talking about, because you got to think about what the rewards are for these fighters when they actually win these fights. The rematch clause, the contracts extended with the TVs, the exposure, the sponsorships. You got to be crazy, and there's no way to really I don't know. It just sounds very, very I don't know, just conspiracy theory to me when people talk about that, because I've been in boxing 35, 40 years, and I've never seen it. I'm not saying it's never happened. I'm just saying to say it happens a lot is kind of an outlandish statement. Back it up. If you want to say that, then back it up and show some hard proof, or else just kind of chill,
Yeah, 100%, my guy. Oh my God, DJ. Yep. I know you don't care about haters, what they say about Jake Paul and shit, but
it's all right. Hey, the haters make the business makes the victories even sweeter. It does. It's all good, man.
Yeah, 100%. So we got people the host Sean, Most Wanted, and Kenny saying that Jake Paul had a bad performance. What's your thoughts
Never
on
said
that?
What's my what?
What's your thoughts on Most Wanted and Kenny, all these haters saying that Jake Paul had a bad performance?
No one. I've never said that though.
If people think that, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinions, but also you got to take it a step deeper, and you got to look at who's saying what. Who is saying he had a bad performance that actually has been in boxing, that knows boxing? Tell me some people who are he did some things better. He's got a new team now. He's working on some new things. He's doing some new stuff. It was very different fight than some of his other fights. You know what I mean? It's very different. So you got a guy like Nate who's coming at him 10 rounds, very durable, very tough. He had to do some things because, Tommy was moving around the ring a lot. So it's a completely different style of fights. And Anderson, completely different from that. So I think Jake's learning on the fly. He's doing a hell of a job. He's in 8-round fights. He's in 10-round fights. What other influencer can say that? I mean, and then we just kind of stop the discussion right there, you know? So kind of just like puts him in a category of his own. And he's only got, what, 8 fights now? I mean, he's still like learning on the job, and he's doing a hell of a job. So like, look at all these other fighters who your favorite fighters. Look who they were fighting on their 8th fight, and then we'll have this conversation again.
This is why I love Wade and like BJ. They always keep it real.
Bro, Wade's the OG, man. Look, Wade is like literally like one of the reasons why I kind of like started listening to like all this kind of stuff, and I started watching his podcast, and you know what I mean. Like Wade really gives the fighters the respect they deserve, and he comes from a real perspective. And I you know, me being an ex-fighter all those years, I appreciate that. And I don't like guys sitting on their computer and talking shit about these fighters. And Wade gets the right respect, so that's why I fuck with Wade.
Yeah, thank
you, Wade. Man.
We love
All right, Kenny, your turn, my guy.
Thank you, Ariel. BJ, you seem like an honest, smart guy. So
you want the truth? Ask me.
Absolutely, brother. I know you vouch for your boy Gib, but what you think if Gib ever fought Assault Poppy? How bad does that fight go against a counterpuncher?
I don't know how bad it'll go. I mean, shit, Poppy better be careful too. Look, Gibbs got some, and I'm going to tell you guys something else. Austin McBroom isn't bad at all. He's got some ability. Austin McBroom has got some power. He's got some speed. Like, he's not go off what I see. Like, and to me, Poppy hasn't, been in with the level of opposition yet to be able to say, man, this is what's going to happen for sure. He's only got 3 fights, right? He against Taylor, he wasn't able to really land anything. And of course, that Taylor's got experience, but Anthony's only been boxing a couple of years also. But he's got MMA experience, so he's got that boxing IQ, that ring IQ, that ring smartness. So he took away a lot of Poppy's strength. So I'll be curious to see how Poppy comes back. I'm a big Salt Poppy fan. I think he's great. I think he's a very, very, flamboyant, and I feel like he just puts on an amazing show, and he's exciting. But we got to see how he comes back. He just came off kind of a tough loss where he wasn't able to really get going in that fight, and it's important for him to look good on the next one. So we're trying to match him with another tough guy. And the thing I'll say about Poppy is he will fight anybody. There's no discussion with Poppy on who it is, and that's throwback attitude that I really enjoy. He doesn't care. He's like, who wants it? What's up? And I'll text him and we'll talk and everything. He's like, he'll really fight anybody. So it's easy to work with Poppy.
100%, I guess.
Yeah, man.
All right, James, your turn, my guy.
Oh, wait, bro. So a lot of people call me delusional for this take. I think Khabib is number 1 of all time and Islam's number 2 of all time. And people always say I'm a meat writer, I'm delusional. I think it's a pretty fair take. Do you agree?
No, I don't agree. Islam is a brand new champion at 55. He's defended his belt a couple times now. That's fair, but of all time, granted, you're leaving out just every great fighter that's ever come through the sport, like John Jones, Anderson Silva, GSP, all of which, by the way, have, in my opinion, better resumes than Khabib.
Undefeated, bro.
Wade, you can even argue that Charles has a better resume than Islam.
Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here.
True. Charles has been in the sport and beat some of the better guys, but yeah, it's a rough take. Like, Khabib has a great resume, he did great things for the sport, but there are so many guys that have been better for longer against better opponents.
I agree with Wade, boys. Level of opposition is all it's about. I mean, everyone can be undefeated. Not everyone, but like the great ones can be undefeated if they're not, consistently putting themselves up with the biggest names, the biggest challenges. And I completely agree with Wade on that one.
Khabib didn't fight the biggest challenges.
In a sport full of blood, there was a man who never bled. In a sport
Khabib
full of
fought all
blood,
the
there was a
biggest
man who never
challenges.
bled.
Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Conor McGregor, back to back to back. Be realistic.
Not back to back, like very quickly. Over a 3-year period, he fought all 3 of them.
Back
He
to
fought
back.
post-prime Conor. He fought Dustin Poirier, who was never really elite. Justin Gaethje was never really
now you're
elite.
saying that. Get the fuck
And then he weight bullied his way down to lightweight. He never went up to 170 because there was a couple of wrestlers up there at 170 he didn't fancy.
I'm not changing the resume. 29-0.
All right, go ahead, most wanted.
Yeah, it's not. Wayne.
Nah, I was just gonna agree. I think that Khabib in the GOAT conversation is absolutely insanity. It's absolute insanity having Khabib in the GOAT conversation. It's crazy.
You don't watch UFC?
think, yeah, sure, I don't watch UFC 100%. Anyway, but I think the person who's not in the GOAT conversation enough and should be more is Demetrius Johnson. I just wanted to get your guys' take on that, BJ. Wade, Donald.
Khabib is better, bro.
Shut the fuck up, nigga.
Keep it
Respectful, guys. Respectful, please.
100%,
But yeah,
BJ.
what do you think about DJ and the GOAT conversation, BJ?
I think he is great, man. What he did at his weight was unbelievable. For me, unfortunately, like, and this is, maybe me being a little biased, I just feel like the percentage of men in the world that weigh what he weighs is just so little, and it's just tough. Like, I love watching competitive good guys. It doesn't matter what it is, but like just the smaller guys, like the majority, I don't know. It's just to me, I feel like it's hard to get the credit you deserve when you're that small because the weight increments are so small. So for the pound for pound, the greatest of all time, I think it's tough. And there's not as many big names down there, so it makes it difficult to to really get excited about some of the wins. But yeah, his resume was incredible. Like, he won so many. I was a fan of his. I watched a lot of his fights too, and I just think without having like all those big names down there, it's tough to really like stand out from some of the other guys in those lower weights. So maybe that's a little biased, but that's just how I feel personally.
Well, who is your
Great take.
Do you have a my bad? Do you have a GOAT, like an MMA GOAT? Because obviously me, like, mine is Chael Sonnen, but like, who's yours, BJ?
Boring.
No, I mean, Shell was great. Shell fought
Shell's the
everybody.
man.
He was the man. And plus, he is the wittiest. He's the wittiest, I think, probably combat sports fighter. He's the wittiest I've ever heard in my life. He's intelligent. He's sharp. He's charismatic. Like, the guy could sell anything. I mean, his fights with Silva down there. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Like, Shell was he's the GOAT, man. He's so sharp. My favorite, oh man, this is a tough one. My favorite guys to watch have always been, oh man, probably John, probably Connor, because Connor's so entertaining. And then when he was coming up in the weights, he was just starching those guys. And me and Andre Berto went to a Conor McGregor fight. He's like, "Look, man, I know this Irish kid, Connor. We're super cool. I want you to come to the fight with me at it was at the Mandalay Bay. This was like probably 8 years ago. I forget who he fought, but he won the title in like, I think it was like in the first round. He knocked the guy out in like a minute or whatever it was, but he knocked him out. And it was incredible. Like, just the energy, the excitement. It was electric at the stadium, and Connor just like brought that out in people. So, I mean, I was a big Connor fan. I was a big John Jones fan. Obviously, minus all the PED tests that he took, but like, John was just such a savage, and he fought everybody. And then what he was able to do to, the big heavyweight in the last fight, it's incredible. So I'm a big fan of some of those guys, and it's incredible sport. Those guys are very, very tough guys, and unfortunately, it's just very tough to stay on top in that sport because, the MMA has got a monopoly on all the fighters, and they kind of make them all fight the best. So, it's tough to stay on top very long. The shelf life's very short, but those guys are dogs.
100%, my guy. Yo, my guy BJ.
Yo,
where do you put what's his name again? Bryce Hall in the list after his BKFC fight?
We can't put him on a list. I mean, that's his first fight he's won, but he did a hell of a job. I mean, he went in there and like, who thought Bryce Hall was going to win? Please show me your hands.
As soon as I heard that his opponent was a natural 125 pounder, I thought he was going to win.
No, you didn't.
So when you hear the 125,
I said it to him in a space.
No, you didn't. Get the fuck out of here.
You
Go ahead, BJ.
Guys,
stop talking to me.
All I'm going to say,
talking to me.
Respectful, please, gentlemen. Respectful, please. But I will say this: show me the bet slip. Show me who bet on Bryce Hall to win that at plus 375. Show me, like, who bet on.
I'm poor, so I didn't.
You know what I mean? It's like I mean, you got to give credit to him. And I know it was an injury. I don't call it a knockout. He didn't knock him out. Like, it would have been a very, very tough fight for Bryce if that fight would have went into the third or the fourth round. Trust me. G was getting his bearings back. He was touching him a little bit. He came out in the second round southpaw, because he couldn't move his left elbow. Like, it would have been a very tough fight for Bryce. And Bryce admits that. I was talking to, Bryce's manager today, Brad, and he's like, man, it all worked out. Bryce kind of recognizes what happened, and it was a good, it kind of like almost humbled Bryce a little bit, and whatever it takes. And I feel like it's going to be good for him moving forward. Hopefully we can have him on a Misfits card coming up pretty soon. We'd love to match him on the October 14th card and see if we can make that work. And it'd be exciting to have Bryce on there coming off that win. But I mean, it's a great win for him, and you got to give the guy, him his credit. He did a hell of a job. Lorenzo Hunt, how about that? Coming into camp, toughening up Bryce, taking out all the la stuff and putting Bryce in the right mindset. Lorenzo Hunt, September 22nd against Chris Camozzi, guys. Everybody tune in.
Jake Paul, Chris Avila. What happens and why? Go ahead.
Line it up, bro. Line it up. It'll be a good fight. Chris is tough. Chris is very tough. People underrate Chris. He's a tough pressure guy. And his kind of style will give anybody problems. But I got Jake winning, of course. But Chris will give anybody problems till they figure it out. But you got to look at the type of guys like the Chris is fighting. Nobody like Jake, that's for damn sure. But Anthony, kind of when he just started learning how to box, Chris's last fight, he looked good, but against the kid that he fought, who was the kid that he fought again? What was his name?
Jeremy
It was
Stevens.
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 Hard hitter.
And Stevens who did
But
Stevens?
Stevens is a 45er though, guys.
Yeah, he's a small guy, so they moved him up. So like,
So's
Jake,
Avila.
Yeah, but Jake,
Yeah, but Avila, that's another reason why Jake's a tough fight.
Yeah, Jake, guys, please, like, unless you've seen Jake in like real life and you've been up next to him and like seen how he is, like, you can't compare. It's completely different. Like, it doesn't come across on TV. Like, Jake doesn't look that big on TV, but like when you get up next to him, like, it's just a different. It's hard to even like have a conversation about that. Jake's way too big for Chris.
Fair enough. Yeah, Chris Avila wins though. All right, go ahead, Donna. I'll let you go now.
All right. Well, listen. If and when that fight ever happens, which it won't, but if it did, I would like to see your bet slip, and I'll show you mine.
Oh, for sure, bro. I promise you, I'll double down on that, bro.
Let's do it. And Chris, hey, look, man. And our motto is this: when I was training Jake, like, Chris can come to the gym anytime. We can get it for free, no problem. We don't have to have any money on it. He can come to the gym anytime. Like, I'm telling you, Jake will spar anybody on any day of the week, and we literally does not give a fuck. And I'm sure his new team has the same mentality. Anybody can come to the gym any day, and we can find out. That's how that works.
Respect, brother. Respect.
Yep.
Question for BJ, obviously.
Yep.
With your huge boxing war chest of knowledge, I was going to ask you, so when you're in the locker room with people that are having their first fight, I've got my first fight coming up, what kind of like energy are you putting into your fighter? Like, what should be his headspace going into his first fight in the locker room?
Relax. Don't have a bunch of people in there. Be calm. Be chill. Don't be moving around. Have your feet off. Have the fighter off his feet. Don't let that adrenaline rush hit just yet. Save it all in. Relax. Don't play the fight out in your head. Don't think about what's going to happen. Don't think about, it's impossible for beginning fighters not to do that. Not to like get hyped up in the dressing room. Like, just stay completely calm and stay completely relaxed all the way until you start warming up. And then just do it nice and slow. Look at Canelo when he walks out of the ring. Look at Anthony Joshua these guys who've got experience in this business. They don't let their adrenaline spike and they don't get excited before it's time to get in the gym and get in the ring and start round one. And then even still, they're relaxed and calm because of those adrenaline spikes. When you let your senses get the best of you and you let yourself like kind of get excited, that when it comes back down, you lose energy. So you want to stay calm, you want to stay relaxed, and just keep them totally not thinking about anything. Don't think about the fight. Just stay relaxed and keep your mind calm.
100%. And then I was also going to ask, I'm basically doing like a 2 fights 1 night thing. So like, what would you recommend for in between the fights?
Wait, he's doing 2 fights in 1 night?
Yeah, I am.
Wait, you are?
Yeah.
Oh shit! All right, so you run like headgear? Is it pro style?
It's white collar, so 16 ounce with headgear.
Okay, yeah, you'll be all right. Go back to the locker room and chill. After your first fight, go chill. Don't celebrate. Go win your first fight, and then go back to the locker room and chill. Get off your feet, relax, forget about your first fight. Drink a lot of fluids. Make sure you're not dehydrated. Put some salt in your water. Take some good, some good electrolytes. Make sure you're rehydrated good, and then just go back and chill and forget you had the first fight. Just go back and chill. It's business, man. Like, look, if you want to win, you got to treat this like a business. And if you want to be, cool guy and all that, then go celebrate after you win the first fight, and then go see what happens in the second fight. So.
I bet. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Jay.
Yeah, got a question to Wade, if he's still here. Is he fall asleep or is Wade still here?
No, I'm here. I was playing a blocks game on my phone. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you good.
I want to ask you this: can you do a breakdown on the Tommy Fury fight and what went wrong and like how you scored it?
I had Tommy winning the fight. It was a good fight, but Tommy did some things that made it really difficult for Jake, and we didn't have a good camp, and we were moving around a lot. Like, to be honest with you, we were in Dubai, we're in Saudi Arabia, and this is one of the things when we're kind of just like starting off, Jake and getting these fights all over and overseas, and Jake, traveled to London, which was a 7-hour flight from where we're at in Dubai, 4 weeks before the fight for a press conference. And then 3 days later, he traveled to Saudi Arabia, another 5-hour flight for a, 2 days to do another press conference, and it was just, you can't do those kind of things when you're 4 and 5 weeks out from a fight. That has to be done before the training camp starts, and there's never a reason ever once you start training camp to break camp. And that was against what we thought we should do, but I guess that was the only way to make the fight, and we made the best of it. But those kind of things on a close fight, they add up. And Tommy wasn't going to any of those because he was in London. He didn't go to Dubai. He didn't go to Saudi Arabia for the press conference. The London press conference, he went there just for the day, but he didn't break training camp. And when you're in a tough, close fight, all those little things matter, and you can't afford to miss days. And not to mention, whenever Jake got back from the second press conference, he got sick and he was out like 4 or 5 days. We had to go. It was just a mess, man. Like, and he knows. And looking back on it, he would never do it again either. But it was a learning experience, and he's gonna be better for it.
100%, my guy. Thank you for keeping it real.
Yep.
All right, Most.
Thank you. Yo, I just really wanted to ask Wade. He's probably playing his block game. I guess he can hear me.
I
With
lost.
you,
I suck at that game. Fuck.
that's tough. But nah. With you, obviously, you're with Kick. Have you seen Rage? Your Rage is now signed with Kick. What's your
Big
thoughts
deal.
and opinions on that?
Yeah, big deal, man. Rage coming over is a massive deal. Kick signing a bunch of guys. They got ridiculous money to be thrown around like that. I saw he got 75 over 2. I'm like, bro, let me just hold $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Let me hold 100,000. You know what I mean? Jeez.
Wade, hit me up. I'll let you hold 100,000. Hit me up, man. I got you, bro.
Appreciate it, BJ. Appreciate it, man.
I got you, man. Let's go.
That's my guy. I appreciate that. Yeah, Kick is interesting, man. It's making me hungry to get back on the Kick streams. So yeah, I'm definitely returning to Kick soon. But they're if you guys are content creators and you're looking to get a start somewhere and you want to get in a place where there isn't a ton of competition, it's now or never, and Kick is growing quickly. I would say look into that if you're looking to get into the streaming side.
100%.
And by the way, if you guys want to be YouTubers, this is killing 2 birds with 1 stone. The reason that the Wade's World channel exists is because of the Wade Plim Kick channel. We do non-boxing stuff over there and then cut the clips into videos on the Wade's World. You get double the content. So yeah, that's what you do, man.
100%, my guy.
Let's go with Kenny, and then we'll go back to Jay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to BJ for a question because I've been hearing he gives it real. Like, let's see if he keeps this.
What's
real.
up, man? Let me hear what you got.
Did you first of all? Let me ask you. Did you see the tag team match with Waleed, Dean, and Yuddy and Apop?
My guy, I judged it. What are you talking about?
Oh shit! Yeah. Look at me not doing my research. All right,
Mams had me on the third corner judging that thing. I was like, wait. We talked all day about how we're going to judge it and what the rules were and then all this stuff. And it was like, I was really confused. But once we got in the moment, it was all right. So it worked out.
All right. So Yeti Gang, which is the guy on the losing team, of course.
Hey, he did a hell of a job. He's a very good fighter. I got full respect because every time he came out, Waleed came in. Waleed wanted no part of Yeti Gang. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay, that brings me to the question I was going to ask you. How do you think a fight goes between Yeti versus Dean individually and Yeti versus Waleed individually?
Yuddy's going to beat Waleed, no problem. I guarantee you that. No question. Yuddy and Dean, that's going to be that was pretty much the fight we saw. You know what I mean? Every time that what's his face, Waleed came in, the other guy, I forget what his name was, but Yuddy's partner, he came in. So they kind of fought against each other, and then Dean and Yuddy fought against each other. But I got Dean and Yuddy both beating Waleed. I do.
Bro, yeah. I don't know about that. You have Dean and Waleed beating Yuddy?
No, I didn't say it. That's not what I said at all.
Oh, what'd you say?
I said I got Yuddy and Dean both beating Waleed is what I got.
Oh shit. Yuddy and Dean. That's I agree with Yuddy beating Dean. Waleed, and I feel like he beats Dean though as well.
Dean's getting a lot better. He's young, he's green, he's getting a lot better with every fight. So I just noted every time Yuddy was in, Waleed was very, very quick to tag Dean, is all I noticed. And I was ringside, and I'm telling you right now, I was like, man, he really wants zero part of Yuddy.
100%, my guy. 100%.
Because if I'm in a tag team match and they tag up, I'm gonna test that other motherfucker. I'm not gonna tag out every time. I'm gonna be like, look, let me see what he's working with. I'm gonna go in and see what's up, and I'm gonna go test his ass. I'm not just gonna go tag out every time. You know what I mean? I'm gonna see what he's up, see what's up. I'm trying to make a name for myself too. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna test him. I'm gonna show I could beat both those guys in that corner. I'm not just gonna tag every time. And I saw Waleed, he tagged very quick anytime Yudi was in. So that's I noticed it.
Well spoken, BJ. And I'm not gonna make this about me, but Israel Adesanya just retweeted my post, so I made it. So everyone else, fuck you. All right, thanks, BJ. I love you, my guy.
All right, Jay, it's your turn.
Actually,
Mike.
on the topic of tag teams, so it's perfect.
Okay.
Mams after I think the tag team match after Misfits 8, he was saying
Yeah.
that watch within a year that people in professional boxing will start picking up tag team boxing. Do you agree or disagree? What's your opinion on that?
I think it was a good watch. It was fun, and I feel like there's only going to be certain commissions that allow it. So I don't know. I don't think professional boxing will pick it up within a year. Maybe, maybe not. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't say that, but I don't think so. I think it's just you got to understand. Mams has got to. He loves boxing. He loves wrestling. He grew up as a big WWE fan. WWE. I mean, the guy's he's been watching combat for a long time, and he loves it. He loves the entertainment factor. He loves the outside of the ring. He loves it all, and he just he's just a. I feel like he might have felt like that it could get picked up in a little bit, but I feel like the reality is real sanctioning organizations probably won't pick it up, but they might. I don't know. I wouldn't think so. It doesn't seem logical to me, but for our space, I think it's perfect because you're getting more big names in that space at that certain time and making the fights more attractive because there's going to be fans of the 4 boxers instead of just 2 boxers. I thought it was great.